first three-way call, I was like, hey, when do I get to lead one of those calls or book clubs or something? And then I started, eventually got to that point and all of that. And then I'm like, I want to do Super Saturday, But now, like, sitting there all day, I'm like, I gotta get out in front of all these people. So I'm just gonna be excited about it. So what I want to talk to you specifically about is working full-time and managing and running and building a successful business. So I am a physical therapist by trade. I have 4 children. This is our first year of homeschooling. My husband has gone back to school in the last 10 years. It was like 9 years ago, he went back to school, second career, like all the things, right? This is pretty funny because I didn't hear what everyone was going to say today, and I'm like, oh yeah, been there, right? And so it's totally doable to be disciplined and to make this happen. What I would like to know is how many of you are working full-time? A lot, that is awesome. And if you aren't currently working full-time, chances are you're going to recruit someone who is. You're going to have someone somewhere that is working full-time and is going to benefit from this too. So what I've had to do from Ruby up to Jewel is I've adjusted my systems. My children have grown, they don't stay the same ages. I've had to adjust systems. I've had to adjust routines. I've had to adjust my own discipline. And it's okay. We're going to keep doing that. Life is dynamic, right? Just like Christina said, you don't get your kid to 15 and go, well, I'm done, I'm out, right? My 6-year-old hasn't heard all of the things like my 13-year-old has. So when I'm like, oh my gosh, we're doing this again? Well, yes, because she's 6, not 13. So we just keep going. Some things that haven't changed is setting my top 3 goals each day. So top 3 personal goals, and that might be like, today I'm cooking dinner, right? Or it might be the laundry, whatever. I mean, some of these are really basic, not a big deal goal, but they're things that are important to me. And then 3 business goals. So those are the non-negotiables. Those are the things that are done by the end of the day. End of story. Now, is every day going to look the same in terms of like, okay, here's my time block for doing these 3 things and these 3 things? No. I go day by day. Monday is going to look like this. I get my time block out, my schedule. Some days, I'll be honest, I don't have a time block, but it doesn't mean those things don't get done. They still get done. And delegating household chores, employing your children. All of these things that we duplicate in our businesses, we want to duplicate ourselves in our household. And this is if we're doing a business or not, right? I'm not raising kids that are going to stay kids. They're going to learn to cook and do laundry and all of those things at some point anyway, so why not start now? Why not delegate that out? And again, picking top 3 or 2 or even 1 thing to work on and help them perfect, so that you can walk away. You can say, go clean the bathroom. And my 8-year-old knows how to clean the bathroom, which took time. It took effort on my part. And then giving up some non-essentials. We've talked about this before. This is nothing new. But TV watching, scrolling, doing tons and tons of crafting, major house cleaning, like wiping the baseboards and stuff. Like you can wipe the baseboards next year. You can wipe on top of the fridge next year. Or you employ help, you delegate, you get help, you hire someone, right? I used to hire, when I was senior gold, I hired a teenager to come and help. Like, hey, she would do it, she was just such a good kid. She would fold the laundry, she'd take the kids for a walk, she would wipe the baseboards. She and the kids would wipe the baseboards, right? Like, she did whatever that I needed that day. And that was super helpful. And of course, now I've worked up to hiring help to like do the cleaning and all of that too. And I like to say I hire help because my friend Kim helps me clean. And while she's like doing the cleaning, then I can sit there with a pile of mail because she can't do that, right? I have to do that. So figuring out what it is that we aren't married to and giving those things away. And then, of course, time freedom. I want to talk about time freedom. we're working towards time freedom. We hear about this all of the time. But time freedom doesn't mean that we don't do the work. Time freedom means you figure out when in your day and what time you're going to do the work. This is why we're doing this. This is why we're working full time and building a business. A lot of people, anyway. We love it. We love helping. And we move forward in all of that. So discipline. It comes down to discipline. We've covered that very well today, so I don't have to talk a lot about that. And then in terms of getting, I'm going to retire myself. What does that really look like? I feel that we really need to have in our mind some very firm guidelines, depending on where you are. I am the main source of income, main source of insurance, main source of retirement. So I had things in mind that I needed to have in place with my business before I could walk away from my full-time job. And I happen to work on the weekends, so it's busy. It's not a lot of family time, and that comes back down to being intentional as well. And so it leads to being exhausted at times, especially if I lose track of taking care of myself. And so we have to make sure we're taking care of ourselves. Jackie over there reminds me every now and again to take care of myself, and being intentional with that too. So Kristen Boss actually has a podcast specifically to people working full-time and recommendations on when to quit that full-time job, replacing that with your business. So check that out for sure. She had lots of really good input. And then also learn from my mistake, because I didn't always show up to my full-time job I am so excited to be here and I'm going to be the best PT today. When I knew that I could replace my income and retire and have Plexus that I loved, and we have a company, you guys, that pours into us and loves us and rewards us, there were days that it was not easy to show up well in my job. And that's not okay. That is definitely a mistake. I'm not saying I was grudging through every single day. I'm just saying there were times that it was I don't want to be here. I don't want to be here, right? So definitely showing up joyfully to all of those things, because that's going to bleed over into our business and into our family, and all of that. And then the other thing is that when we are working and plexusing and raising kids and all of this, the other thing that I've learned is scheduling in some time for us to find joy, those things that do fill us up. So obviously, if we love to craft, it's not an excuse to go craft and not do IPA. It's not an excuse to, I just need to unwind and I'm going to craft for the next 6 hours and ignore these other things or not talk to my team. It means that we set in times for that and then can enjoy that and fill our cups too. So it's easy to just be in work mode. Work, do. And then I did it too. And then get out of the habit of filling our own cups. So that is, and then doing the things that we really love in our life and in our business. So what I have found is I really do enjoy cooking. And I really do want to employ my children to make dinners as well. They need to do that. But I enjoy it a lot as well. And so when I can take that time and cook and either send them outside and I can do it alone or be with them, I'm finding that I really do enjoy that. And that does help to fill my cup, right? And in your business. So if there's some things that you really, really love doing, make sure you're doing those things. Make that a priority. And doing the, sorry, I'm going to lose my train of thought. See, happens. So also we want to work in our strengths. So in our businesses and our personal lives, we want to work in our strengths and then build on our weaknesses, right? But we want to spend the majority of time in our strengths. And then it's like the slight edge. So we take one thing and we work on making that better, and then we take the next thing and make that better. Don't try to improve every single thing at one time, and it's not efficient and effective to not work in your strengths. Working in your strengths first is going to fill you up, it's going to grow your team, it's going to bring momentum, and that is what is so important. And then in your biz, I'm telling you what, you guys, I've done the not clean your house for a year. I've done the this, I've done the that. And then when there's those times of okay, this isn't a huge momentum time, then I go back and I organize the game closet. Then I go back and dig through the kids' rooms, right? Their clothes that are too small sitting there, they're gonna sit there too small. They're not going anywhere. It doesn't matter, right? And then, okay, now I can set aside time to take care of that. So anyway, if you wanna talk specifics, like, okay, how have you really done this? I need help. I'm totally willing to chat about all of that, but I'm not going to bore you with all of that right now. So thank you for your time. Thank you for being here.